What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and we have brand new champions in Bloodline Heroes of Lithas. It is the Ho clan. So of course, today I'm going to do a breakdown. I'm going to decide which one's better, the male or the female, and if they're worth summoning for. But first, I'm going to be a legendary hero in Gemstone Legends, and you get to pick the skills. That's right, there's a contest going on right now until April 29th at 12 p.m. UTC, so just make sure to get that right in your time zone, where if you are the grand prize winner, you get the Lion Roar hero for free. Of course, you can't enter the contest unless you've downloaded the game. It's a super awesome game. I provided a link in the description of this video for you to try it out, because if you use my link, you get a bunch of free stuff anyway, including an epic hero named Moralia. So make sure to download it, test the game out, see how you like the game, then submit your contest entry. I provided another link to a video with instructions. All right, let's jump back into Bloodline. Here's Lithas here. We're going to take a look at the female of the Ho clan first. I am just absolutely loving the art here. The Nine Tails is so amazing. And I think this is going to make for some really cool looking hybrids, so I'm excited to try that out. This is just an epic version of the hero, so I'm going to take a look at the clan trait first and talk about that. But do note that, of course, the numbers and the percentages in the clan trait are going to be higher with a mythic version of it, because this is only up to level 8 currently. But I just want to get a sense of what this clan trait is. It's called High Spirited, and it says when the battle starts, increases back row allied champion strength by 8.67%, or some percentage higher. Of course, the higher the level is there. That is the kind of clan trait I like to see, and this is also the kind of clan trait that you could really use to start putting on other champions. Of course, what would make it so much more powerful is if it stacked, but it does not. That is something that's not clear by the wording here, but after verifying it with the developers, this will not stack. However, it can still be a very strong one. It just means that you're only going to put it on one hero, not everybody, right? That would be really cool if you could, but if you have one from the Ho clan on your team, that's all you need. It's just going to affect the back row from that one champion. If you don't have a Ho champion on your team, you can put this clan trait on somebody to get that effect. So it's just kind of like the Fulgur clan. If you remember that, it gives everybody strength. I still like the Fulgur clan trait better, but this is fine. This is a good one. Okay, I'm going to go jump into the renowned champion section to really look at these, because I want to see, is it worth it to put all of the resources into these champions? All right, as per usual, there's a lot of text with these champions. The wording is not super straightforward or clear, so we're going to try and break it down and make some sense of it. Sever's Soul is one of our first active specials here. The caster gets a silencing charm upon the enemy. Casts a silencing charm upon the enemy with the highest energy, which prevents them from casting their active and ultimate skills for 6 seconds. Additionally, the caster casts a paralysis charm upon the enemy with the highest strength, which renders them unable to attack for 3 seconds. Both charms deal damage to target enemies equal to 470% of the caster's strength. Interesting. Okay, so this looks like one of the absolutely ultimate CC or crowd control types of active specials that I've seen. I mean, this is like anti-female Divala type of active. This is like an anti-Phoenix type of active. I mean, silencing them, and for like 6 seconds, that's unbelievable. So if you're actually, you know what it's looking like to me is this is a champion created to make sure that no champions in this game get too out of control. No matter how strong they make another champion in this game, this one can neutralize it, or at least offset a lot of the power, because this one's going to affect the one, of course, with the highest energy. So, you know, usually one that is building up energy faster. And the paralysis charm is affecting the one with the highest strength. So, of course, usually the ones that are dealing the most damage. So that's really interesting. All right, looking at the ultimate here, Invocation of Spirits. Cast a protective charm upon all allies, which lasts for 6 seconds. 6 seconds is a long time in this. Whenever an allied champion takes damage, 70% of the damage will be taken gradually over the next 6 seconds. The allies immediately recover Constitution by 520% of the caster's strength while receiving the charm. That's really interesting. All right, and so we're seeing strength show up a couple times, meaning we're probably likely going to want to put brutal on this champion, at least if we want to get the most out of it. Also, lastly, Serene Guardian neutralizes all damage dished from 9 attacks. I don't know why they use that wording, but basically, so if you're getting hit with 9 attacks, it's going to neutralize them. Once per 6 seconds, cast a haste charm upon a random allied champion who immediately recovers 12% of their max constitution, which can be a lot of health if you have energetic on them, and increases their attack speed by 25%, recovering 50 energy per second for 5 seconds. Now, I did mention if the other champion has energetic, it doesn't necessarily... It's going to be a lot more recovery, of course, if they have energetic, but honorable is good too, because that means that, you know, they take less damage, and so either one of those is going to be fine as far as being paired with this, but that's just kind of the synergies you're looking for. Anyway, overall, what you're looking at with this particular champion is one that I think is a really, really great support champion. This is one that you take into tough metas to kind of even things out, if you will. I think it's entirely possible to go up against an opponent who you're outmatched with in this one, and it brings the team levels more closely together because you're really like neutralizing that high strength hero, and potentially even like silencing them. You know, it just depends. A lot of times that high strength hero is also the fastest one because it's attacking more, it's getting more energy. Not always, but you know, so you're potentially there to neutralize like a really difficult female Divala. I've known a lot of teams where the female Divala is all the way like 5-star, fully leveled up, and the rest of the team is a little bit weaker. And okay, here you go. Here's the answer to that, and I think it's pretty awesome. I'm thinking, in my opinion, this could potentially be an S-tier hero, support hero, depending on how it plays out. And we don't see a lot of this type of hero that like heals everybody too. So there's a lot of uses for her, because I'm thinking in like Dungeon Descent, especially when it's really powerful to have a full type of healing effect for everybody. And it's based on strength, so do remember that. Again, we're looking for brutal, but yeah, you can take it into stuff like that and Guardian Defense, so Dungeon Descent, Guardian Defense, where you really want your heroes to be healing. Any of those big boss events where it's going on for a long time, they're going to benefit from this healing. She's amazing. She's amazing. Who do you replace her with? I don't know. I mean, if you're using White Eyes, she could easily replace any of the White Eyes as a mage. So, okay, let's take a look at the male and then determine which one's better. I'm super high on her, by the way. Annihilation casts a cursed circle upon the enemy champion with the highest strength. The circle takes 5 seconds to form, during which all enemies caught within the circle take damage equal to 125% of the caster's strength per second. And that's per second. So remember, that's going to be repeated even though the percent looks smaller than the female. Additionally, enemies within the circle's damage dealt is reduced by 25% after the circle forms. It deals damage equal to 150% of the caster's strength to all enemies caught inside it. Different number of soul marks have different effects. With 18 soul marks, the caught enemy's strength is reduced by 20% for 8 seconds. With 36 soul marks, the caught enemy's strength will be stolen from the caster. All right, we're going to see a lot about soul marks here. It's kind of confusing with all this language. The way I read this is it's like sucking the soul marks from the enemies, okay? As you can already tell with this active, it's a lot of damage that's being dealt based on strength here, so keep that in mind. In fact, this looks to me like it's already kind of dealing a lot more damage than the female potentially. Soul Rending Circle conjures a soul binding circle at the center of the battlefield for 5 seconds. Enemies caught inside take damage equal to 160% of the caster's strength per second. For as long as the circle lasts, the caster siphons 9 soul marks from the death of all enemy and allied champions except for the caster himself. With 18 soul marks, the circle constantly pulls all enemies close. With 36 soul marks, the caster siphons 10% strength from all champions killed in the circle except for the caster himself. So this is synergizing. With all the damage he's dealing based on strength, he can actually gain more strength as he goes. And I imagine in those game events where it's going on for a long time, this guy's going to get really powerful as far as strength goes. Serene Concordance enshrouds the battlefield with a circle and enforces a covenant with everyone caught inside. In battle, the caster siphons a soul mark from all enemy and allied champions except the caster for every 12.5% max constitution they lose. Each soul mark increases the caster's strength by 2% permanently. Every 9 soul marks increases the caster's damage absorption by 8%. Also, all the caster's skills will be enhanced based on the number of soul marks siphoned. All right. So this is a really fascinating hero. The soul marks make it kind of, I think, convoluted and complex to really understand, but I think it's really good. And some of the early testing is showing that both the female and the male are very good. This one's just like a harder special to understand, but basically what you're getting with this one is more of a damage dealer. And it's kind of an area of effect damage dealer, but it's not necessarily affecting everybody. What you're going to look for as far as synergies with this one is trying to trap opposing champions within the circle, first of all. So you're looking for ways to kind of bunch them together, maybe pulling champions in or pushing them in somehow, or just look for other champions that are going to do things like that. I think there's one synergy in particular for this one that could go together well. And that is our new like zombie champion that we just got, the undead champion. Freaking what's it called? Oh my gosh. Choir Discordant. Slipped my mind. Already forgetting. Yeah, you want the male Choir Discordant with this guy because he has a synergy with continuing to die in the special on this that triggers over and over. So that is going to be something that you could potentially look at doing. I think as far as traits go for both of them, Honorable looks good. Maybe for the female Energetic, maybe. But it depends. You know, Devout is good. Agile is good. Focused is good on these. You know, it's almost always the way to go to do Agile, Focused. And then, you know, we talked about Brutal being good on these. So some mix of that. Now, me personally, I think the female's looking a little better. The male's going to be your big damage dealer. So if you're looking for a damage dealer, he has a different use. But I think the female is the one that I want to go with because she's looking like a very unique kind of sustainment type of champion that's keeping your team alive and really controlling the other team well. There's not many like that. So the female is the one that I think I'm going to go with. I would go with Brutal, Agile, Focused, and Honorable. In my opinion, that's what I'm going to go with for her. What do you think? If you've already thought of other synergies as well, please let us all know in the comments, especially if you're doing testing and you're discovering things like that too. I'm just speculating because I haven't done any summons yet. So I'm curious. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to download Gemstone Legends so you can participate in the contest to get the free legendary Lion Roar hero if you win by picking the skills for the champion. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.